I am genuinely excited for summer, even with hyperhidrosis. You heard it right. Now, before we go on, I want you to take a moment and just observe the size of the balls it takes for me to make a statement like that. After all, I was diagnosed with hyperhidrosis at the age of 5. And now I'm 26 and I will be turning 27 within few months. That is over 20 years of life playing as a wet ghost. Over 20 years of excessive sweating in my hands, my feet, and underarms. And that's why, for all of you, summer isn't a fun season. It's an eclipse because it's the time of the year where your life goes dark, where you enter the survival mode, and it's the time when you skip every bit of socializing. You calculate every single moment just to hide your secret. I know how desperate you are to get dry, and most of you have even given up the idea of being normal. You have given up that you will ever get dry, you will ever get that girl that you want, and you will ever walk into a room with your head held high. I have sat in the same dark room. I have wiped my hands, my palms every 30 seconds like you. I even remember I was on a hangout with this girl, a girl that I actually liked, and we were sitting very close to each other. And she was literally touching me. She was giving me every single sign that you could have think that she's into me. And you know what I was doing the whole time? I had my palms under my thighs. I was literally sat on my palms because they were fucking so sweaty and freezingly cold that I couldn't even imagine touching her. The entire time, I wasn't even in the room with her. I was trapped inside my own head doing the mental gymnastics about how to handle my broken hardware while she was sitting right there, waiting for me to be a man, waiting for me to initiate, waiting for me to lead. And you know what I did? I did nothing. And you know how it ended? The very next day, I heard her talking about me to her friends, and she said the exact same words. Oh, he's just a nice guy. Fuck you. Do you know what that phrase means to me? Do you know what that phrase means to us, to our cult? It means that you are a fucking ballless ghost. Despite you being born a man, you have a fucking feminine identity. And after hearing that phrase my entire life, now it rages a war inside me. Listen to me very closely. If you are a part of my cult, being called a nice guy isn't a compliment. It's a fucking death sentence. It is the ultimate proof that you have zero masculine edge. And when you hit that reality, you realize your own biology is robbing you out of your own manhood. You get desperate, you start looking for a way, you start looking for a hope, and you find nothing. But listen closely, there is still light. Now, it's not Botox, now, it's not ETS surgery, and it's surely not those hyped up marketing lotions. It's antihydral. If you are a part of my cult, you knew this was coming. But I didn't just buy a tube and hope for the best. I went into an autistic level of testing with this where I burned my skin. I over applied this, I under applied this, and I did everything until I found the right strategy that actually stops the sweating. And of course, I know you want it. So soon I'm making a detailed, proper guide on how to use antihydral, and it's coming very soon. But That's not the point for now. You need to pay attention to this. Fixing the hardware is just the step one. And for my entire life, I was so delusional that I thought once I get dry, I will automatically come out as a Chad. And you know what happened? When for the first time I got dry as sandpaper in summer, I still couldn't lead. I still couldn't show dominance. I still couldn't pull a girl. So even with dry hands, I still acted like a wet ghost. I still avoided eye contact. I still waited for a woman to make the first move despite of being a man myself. My god. You know what actually changed my life? My life only massively improved once I started fixing the software. The software is your identity. It's the submissive, closed off body language that you have developed over decades of hiding. It's your fear of taking space. It's your victim mindset that tells you that you are broken. I had to manually override that corrupted programming. And look at me now. I have completely changed the way I feel, the way I think, the way I look, and the way I behave. And trust me, I never saw myself being so smooth around girls and other men. Now, when I walk into a room, I don't scan for AC vents. I look for opportunities. I find attractive girls looking at me, holding eye contact, smiling, greeting me. They feel the presence of a man who isn't hiding. And other men appreciate my company. They ask me for input. They respect me. They invite me to do things. And I'm not talking about some average shitty guys. I'm talking about serious men, men who are winning, men who are putting in the work, men who have aesthetic bodies. They recognize me as one of their own. I feel a surge of testosterone running through my veins. I feel like a man for the first time in my entire life. I was delusional for 20 years. That is why I keep emphasizing this to you. I never had anyone to look up. I never had inspirations. I never had a love mason sitting in front of a screen and telling me exactly how this brutal game is played. But you have it. You have me. So you better listen and take fucking action. I promise you, once you get dry, and you will get dry if you follow my lead, you will realize the sweat was never the problem. It was the actual excuse, it was the mask. Once the wetness is gone, you will hit a wall and you will realize your actual problems, your lack of frame, your fear of intimacy, and your weak mindset. That is why I have been working so hard behind the scenes. I am finalizing the absolute step by step autistic blueprint that exactly fixes your hardware and overrides your corrupted software so you actually get the life, the girls, the money, the status you desired. And this is not for everyone. This is only for those who are done playing victim, who are tired of sweat stealing their lives. If you are one of them, I put a link in the description for the waiting list. Get your name on it. So again, I am genuinely excited for summer. I am hunting the sun. I am walking into rooms and initiating the grip. I am actually shaking hands where I don't even need to, just because I am paying the hyperhidrosis tax. If you are a sufferer of hyperhidrosis like me, you have to pay the hyperhidrosis tax. And if you still don't know what is that, click here to learn more about it. I will see you right there.